Hey there, Stampers. Happy Friday. Let's see here. Okay, my name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada, and I'm excited to be here for this week's live. This week, we are going to play with the Nature's Harvest bundle, but before we get started, I wanted to let everyone know, oh my gosh, we're really crooked here. Let's see. Okay, I wanted to let everybody know about who the lucky winners were for last week's projects. Okay, so the way that you can get entered into winning the projects that I create, unless it's a 3D project that can't be mailed or a scrapbook layout, is by commenting on the live, whether it's live or the replay, or even if you comment, if I upload it to YouTube afterwards, I take those comments into consideration as well. And that gets you an entry, and then also sharing the videos gets you entries as well. All right, so I appreciate all of you being here and spending time with me as I do these Facebook Lives. I love doing them. They're so much fun, and I know that everyone is busy, so taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with me and craft, that is awesome. I appreciate you all. So this is just my little way of saying thank you. Okay, so this was the first project that I created in my 6 lead up sneak peek videos or favorite videos, and the lucky winner for this one is Michelle Smith. So I will pop that in the mail for her. I believe I have her address. And then we use the Peaceful Deer the second day. The lucky winner for this one is Louise Power. So I will pop that in the mail for her. And then we did a fall project and created a custom envelope for it. This one goes to Elaine Rose, so congratulations to all of you. And then we have another Christmas one. This one goes to Kim Rabick. I'm not sure if I have Kim's mailing address or not. So Kim, if you're watching this, if you can send me a private message with your mailing address so I can pop that in the mail for you. I may have it, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the adorable counting sheep with the matching dies, the coordinating dies. The lucky winner for this one is Lorraine Champagne. And then the adorable DSP. The lucky winner for this one was Shirley Nickerson. All right, so those will go in the mail this weekend. And if you're a VIP member, I did a bunch of draws for you guys. I'm catching up today. So I did a bunch of draws, and I will post the winners later on today over there so that you can check out to see if you were one of the lucky winners. Okay, now today, let me share what we are going to use. Now, one of my favorite suites in the July to December mini catalog is the Harvest Meadow suite. It's a beautiful suite that includes the Nature's Harvest bundle. So the stamp set, it's only got 3 images in it and a few greetings, but I love this image. And then this creates for great backgrounds as well, which is really fun. The greetings are great. You guys know that I love fonts that combine different, or greetings that combine different fonts, but it's the dies that really provide versatility to this bundle. So the stamp set is beautiful, but the dies, this is where you can really step up your project. So you can see that there are a couple dies that will cut out the images that are in here. Then there's some that will cut out the greetings, but then there's some complementary dies. So if you want to see more done with these, you will definitely want to participate in our upcoming summer celebration extravaganza towards the end of the month. It's on August 21st. We've got lots of fun things to show you with this bundle. So you'll definitely want to check that out. Registration is closing soon. So I will go back and I'll post a link in the description so that you can find all the information. Okay. So in addition to the bundle, included in the suite is the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. So we're going to use this today. And then there is brushed metallic adhesive dots. So you've seen me use these a couple times already if you watch the videos leading up to the catalog release date, because I think I use these on a couple projects. I love these. You've got gold, you've got copper, and then you've got, I don't even know what color this is. I should know these things. I should look them up before I go live. But that color there, you can kind of see it in the video. So 3 different colors of those and a couple different sizes. We've got this beautiful diamond weave ribbon as well. And then there is cork specialty paper. How fun is this? I love this cork paper. Love, love, love it. We're going to use that today. And then there is a beautiful DSP. So these are all my favorite sides. I love this one. I love this one. So lots and lots of great patterns. Look at this one. This one kind of has the same kind of pattern as the embossing folder. Kind of reminds me of a similar pattern. And then the back sides, we've got some more kind of solid patterns. All right. So lots of great options with the paper. We're actually not using the paper today on today's project. Today we are going to use the bundle, the embossing folder, and the brushed metallic adhesive dots. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me pull out my pieces here. Okay, so our card base is going to be a piece of soft succulent cardstock, and this is just a standard size card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Good morning, Lorraine. Good morning, Denise and Leanne. Welcome. Happy Friday. And then I've taken a piece of the cork. So I took a 1" by 6" strip of the cork, and I used my favorite die set, the scallop contour dies. I love this border set, or this border die. So I used that and cut out this border strip. So I just need to trim the bottom here. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, Alice. I'm just going to trim that. So we've got that nice strip. And then I've got another piece of the soft succulent cardstock. This one measures 3.5 by 5. And I've gone ahead and I've embossed it using that time-worn type embossing folder. So you can, well, I don't know how well you can see, but you can see that there's some textured areas. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. And then there's also some like written, the words on there as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add adhesive down the side of this and then add our cork. I'm going to put this on here like this. I'm going to center it so that I have an even partial scallop on both sides. Just push that down and then trim off this excess. So that gives us just that little bit of contrast. And we've already got, just with these 2 layers, we've already got a lot of texture. So we've got the cork and then we've got the embossed piece. I'll add a little bit of adhesive to the back of this. And add this to the center of our card. So I'm centering it up and down and then side to side. It's not going to be quite an even border all the way around just because of that scallop. All right, so there's our card base so far. Now we're going to bring in a scrap piece of white and this larger image. We'll use some Memento ink, because we are going to color it with Stampin' Blends. So this is the ink that you want to use if you're using alcohol markers. Just stamp this down. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Christine. All right. And now we're going to bring in some markers to color. Actually, let's give this a second. Let's do another bit of stamping. So I'm going to take the greeting that says, "Sending healing thoughts. May nature's beauty bring peace to your soul." I'm going to take that greeting and stamp it on another scrap of white. again using Memento. And I'm going to do it in the center. Good morning, Kim. And then I'm going to take my cardstock and I'm going to tear all the way around the greeting. And I'm just going to do it a little bit at a time because I don't want to tear into my words. But this is going to add more texture to my card. So there's going to be lots of texture on this card. Okay, and then I'm going to tear the bottom. I just didn't want any kind of harsh lines. And the card turned out really pretty. I can't wait for you guys to see the finished card. Okay, so that's what our greeting's going to look like. Now let's bring in our blends. We're going to start with some light soft suede and some dark crumb cake. And I'm just going to color just a little bit of the base, kind of where it's darker, and then a little bit right underneath the petals on this one. And then I'll just fill in the rest of this. I know, I love that greeting too, Denise. This is such a nice stamp set. Okay. And I think I'm going to grab my light crumb cake as well. This seems quite dark. Okay, where is it? There we go. Okay, and we'll fill in the rest with the light, just so that we have a little bit more contrast on that. Okay, and then we're going to take our Daffodil Delight. So I've got both light and dark. I'm going to start with the dark. Excuse me. And I'm just going to add a little bit of dark to the base of each one of these petals. And I'm going to work one flower at a time. Good morning, Elaine. All right, and then I'll fill in the rest with the light daffodil. So I actually don't have one of these done for you, so I'm going to be coloring the whole thing. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Normally I have these things, I'll show you a little bit, and then I pull out one that's already done, but this one I did not do. So now I'm going to repeat that step, and again, go in at the base of each one of these petals and just add a bit of dark, and then I'll fill in the whole thing with light. Hey Kim, did you move to Saskatchewan, or did you are you just visiting there? Because you used to live, like, I think it was Leduc, wasn't it? I noticed the last couple times you said hi from Saskatchewan, so it got me curious. All right, so we've got that colored in, and then we will, oh, okay, you're visiting, all right. I'll do the same thing to the last one. It's so nice to be able to do that now, isn't it? Okay, so we're done with the yellow. The last step is to bring in some green, and I chose to use the same green as my card base, so I'm using Soft Succulent. Again, I've got some light and some dark. So I'm just going to add a bit of dark underneath where the flowers are, down a bit of the stem, and then in some areas on the leaves. And then we'll fill in the rest with light. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something else to this as well before I die cut it. I'm going to take my light pool party and go around the edges. And you'll see what that does when we die cut it. Try to do this quickly, but still try not to go out of the lines too much. It's probably not too fun to sit there and watch me color all this, but trust me, it looks really good in the end. Okay, so now I'm going to take my light pool party and I'm going to go all the way around the image. I'm going to use the brush tip and I'm kind of coloring around it. I'm not being too careful about how wide it gets or how far out it goes, because we're going to die cut it and most of it will get cut off anyways. So this just provides just a little bit of shadowing and gives the image just a little bit of depth when you cut it, and it also gets rid of the harshness of the white border that you have around it. So it just softens it just a little bit. Sometimes you want just a little bit of a softer look for your projects, and this is a great way to do that, especially because this is more of an earthy kind of card, like with the texture of the cork and the colors and even the images. So maybe you don't want that stark whiteness. I'll bring this up a little closer before I die cut it so you can just see kind of what I've done. So in these smaller areas, I'm just coloring in the whole thing. Again, not worrying too much about how much blue is on there because it will get cut off anyways. We're only going to see a little bit of it. Okay, almost done. Color in this little bit. So this light pool party is a great color for this. Also light smoky slate is another great color that you can do this with. Okay, so if I bring this up a little closer, can you see how it changes the look of the image, having that little bit of blue around the border? Isn't that nice? It gives it some depth. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our die cutting machine. Okay, I've got my magnetic platform and we'll grab the corresponding die for this. Oh, let's move this so that we're in camera. I really need to pull out my mini machine more often. It would fit much better in my screen here. Okay, so I'm lining it up with the image so that I get a relatively even border all the way around. And run it through. And let's slide this out of the way. Okay, so now look at what it looks like after you've cut it. So see how soft those edges are? They just look so pretty. So pretty. All right. Okay, so now we can go ahead and finish assembling our card. Now I've gone ahead and I used a piece of bumblebee cardstock and I die cut this image here, which is gonna just kind of provide just a little bit of another pop of color, but also a little bit more dimension and depth and texture to the card. So let's grab the multi-purpose glue and we'll add some adhesive to these little sprigs. is going to go over here like so. And I like to put something on top of these just to let it set. While we do that, we'll flip this over and add some dimensionals. So there's room there for a couple full ones, but then you're going to need pieces or some mini ones. Let's do one more on this little flower. All right. Peel off the backing here, and then is this wheat? It looks kind of like wheat. Should be dry. So then this is going to go right over top. Just like that. And then we'll add our greeting, again using a dimensional on the one side. And then we'll put some flat adhesive on this side. And just have it go across. Make sure that's straight. Yep, that's straight. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then the last step to the outside is to add our brushed metallic dots. So, oops, take your pick tool here. And we'll use these ones. I'm going to add 3 of them. I almost always add 3 or 5 to a project. Okay, so we've got the outside done. Now we're going to bring in a layer of white for the inside. And let me think, what should we do for the inside? On my sample, I used this little image. But you know what? This might be nice just sponged. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to grab my yellow blending brush and my Bumblebee ink. And we'll just ink this up. And I'm going to hold this in place. And then I'm going to carefully do this. There's some pretty loose pieces that aren't attached, so you do have to be pretty careful when you do this. And the other thing I'm being careful of is not going, like I did not cut this stencil with, or this die with the intent of using it as a stencil, so I'm just going to be very careful when I go around the edges. Okay. It's pretty soft, but I like how it pulls in that image from the outside to the inside. I'm going to repeat that on my envelope as well. We'll do it on this side. Just line it up so it's straight. And then add some yellow. I actually really like doing these with this idea with die cut pieces. It's a perfect way to add just a little bit of something. There we go. All right, so now we have a matching envelope. So we'll go ahead and we'll adhere this on the inside. And I'm not going to add a greeting on the inside. I'm just going to leave it as is so that I can write a message. We'll pop this inside. Just like that. And there we go. Our card is done. So the other one that I did my sample, it actually has this little image on the inside. So you could do something like that if you wanted something with a little bit more, that's a little bit more vibrant, or you could do something like that. You could even make this more vibrant by doing it darker. So I did it really, really light, but I like how soft and muted that is. And that also provides the option, if you have lots of writing, you could write over top of it. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If there is anything that you saw me use today that you would like to order, feel free to visit my website at stampedtreasures.com. And remember that for every $60 that you order, you get to choose a free celebration item. And I will also post the link to the more information on our summer celebration extravaganza in the description so that you can check that out. We will be focusing around this bundle. We'll have 6 bonus videos leading up to the event, and then hourly content for 12 hours on the Saturday. So tons and tons of inspiration. You definitely don't want to miss out. So check out that link and make sure that you register before the 8th if you want kits sent to you. Otherwise, you can register afterwards. We just can't guarantee that your kits will arrive in time. All right? So thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous weekend. Take care, guys.